Okay, so I'm waiting for it to get dark. I'm at work and I'm going to bring y'all a review slash demonstration of the Stanley Fat Max 2000 lumen rechargeable LED spotlight. So stay tuned and I'll be back with you here in a minute. Okay, I said I'd get back with you and it is dark, so now's a good time to check out the Stanley Fat Max 2000 lumen rechargeable LED spotlight. Now I am a security guard and it's a construction site, so it's kind of a real good place to check it out. Anyway, let me get y'all flipped around here and we'll see how it does. Okay, as you can see, there's really not much you can see. You can see a couple little lights in the distance there. Let's see here if this will pick up. Wow, it won't even pick up that far trailer down there. Alright, well, the first place I'm going to shine it at is about 45 to 50 yards away. So, let's check it out. Let's see, let me get out of that so the camera will stop trying to focus on that. Alright. Well, the camera's really not doing it any justice here. I might need to figure something else out. That's a good... There we go. That right there is probably about 30 yards away. And that what you see way in the distance, which, let's see if I can get it to focus here. Well, anyway, that right over there is about 50 yards away, and it looks probably about half as bright as it does in real life. So, I'm trying to do this on my iPhone here. My camera was stolen not too long ago, so hold on a second. I got a better idea. I'll be right back. Okay, this should be a little bit better. There's more to hit with the light instead of a whole bunch of dead space. So, alright, now what you'll be looking at is incomplete building, so it's a lot of framework and some wrapping done already on it. Anyway, from the closest point, it's about, let's see here, about 30 yards, and the furthest point is probably about 60 to 70 yards. So let's start with the closest. Alright. Once again, the camera is just not doing it justice. But yeah, it's about 30 yards away, and you can see you could easily read and make out the writing on the wrapping. Well, I can. The camera's not picking it up, but... And I'll just keep on going right down all the way to the furthest point. Now, what you see behind those wooden beams there is about 60 yards away. Now, the camera can actually pick it up, but not like I'm seeing it here. I'll try to lighten it up during editing, but it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, I was trying to give you some beam shots of it. Alright, well, let's shine it at the ground here for a second. That is high. That is low. It's got two modes, high and low. You can see while I'm squeezing the trigger, there's a green light. When I let off the trigger, green light goes away. When I squeeze the trigger, green light comes back. What that means is that it's operating on full voltage. when that green light turns orange, you're operating on partial voltage. And when that orange light turns red, I hope you have a backup light, or you just don't desperately need your light because it's going to die. Now, this light said that it had about, I believe it was like a 30-minute runtime, something like that. I'll post it in the description exactly what it was saying for a full charge. It is quite a while. I had a guy come back just a little while ago, and he was looking for his keys, and me and him spent a good 45 minutes looking all around the yard. It's dark. Yeah, I used my light. That's why it kind of is a lot later than I was wanting to do this, because I had to put it on the charger and let it charge back up, which it actually charges pretty quickly. It's a lot better than the halogen models. I'll actually do a comparison here in a minute with another budget spotlight. It's a Peak. It's a wired spotlight, so I'll have to get out there on the Polaris, plug it in, and I'll show y'all a side-by-side at the very end of the video of what this thing looks like next to a halogen. And this is a rechargeable, will be next to a wired spotlight. So, let's see, as far as the light itself, let me walk y'all right back inside so I can turn the light on and show y'all what it looks like and everything. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what the light looks like. Here's my hand holding it. I wear a size medium glove, so as you can see, it's not that big at all, and it really doesn't weigh much. If you're used to rechargeable spotlights, particularly the halogen, you'll be really surprised, because this thing weighs next to nothing compared to those halogen rechargeables. On the back here, we've got a nice little rubber plug for when you're not charging it. Keep the moisture and dust and mess out of it. As far as I know, it's not waterproof. I think it can handle, a slight drizzle. It definitely doesn't need to be on any downpours or submerged in any kind of water, anything major like that. It's got a locking button here. So engaged, you cannot squeeze the trigger. Disengage, you can squeeze the trigger. But you can also, let me do this so that way it's not killing y'all. Engage the safety button while you're depressing the trigger. That way the light will stay on. Like I said, here right underneath that rubber plug is your button. Click it once, dim. Click it again, it's high. Now if you look, you click it on dim. If you let the light off and back on, it automatically comes to high. And you have to put it on dim again. But you got some cooling fins on the side. And it says right here, caution, hot surface, la da 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 da, which I've never ever had it get hot on me at all. And until actually just a little while ago when I was telling you about the guy that lost his keys out here. And I actually had this light on so long that, yeah, it was starting to get warm to the touch. On top here, you've got a stand. It folds all the way down. That way, if you want to set it up in any particular fashion, while you're using it hands-free, you'd be able to do so. It will stand just like that. Or it can lay flat just like that. Now, if you can see down in here, there's a single LED, and it is a 10-watt LED. Now, Black & Decker has... Okay, well, like I was saying, Black & Decker makes a model real similar to this. I mean, it looks exactly the same except orange where it's yellow, and it says Black & Decker right here. But same thing, 10-watt LED, lithium-ion battery. Everything is pretty much the same. Even the manufacturer is the same. But on the Black & Decker model, it says that it is 1100 lumens, and on the Stanley Fat Max model is 2000 lumens. So, I don't know, I went with this one, $50 at Walmart, and I think it's well worth the money. I think that's enough talking about it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out on the Polaris with the halogen corded spotlight, and we're going to do a side-by-side comparison against the cordless rechargeable LED spotlight and the halogen. So here we go. Okay, well, here we are out on the Polaris, and I've got, let me turn on my white light. I've got the Stanley Fat Max and this, let's see if you can see it, this Peak 1 million candle power corded spotlight. And it won't come on without the Polaris running, so I'm going to have to crank it, and what I'm going to do is a side-by-side comparison on the back of a building at about 30 yards away, and we'll see what we've got here. Alright. Okay. Well, here is the Stanley Fat Max. See if I can trying to hold this phone and do this at the same time, so let's get this right there. Alright, there's the Stanley Fat Max LED rechargeable, and there we go. And then here is the Peak corded spotlight right next to it. So there's the Stanley Fat Max 2000 lumen LED, and here's the Peak, that little dim light right next to it. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is the halo around this Stanley Fat Max. It actually puts out a real clean light, and I kind of saw some of the video before I came out here, and it's actually picking up a lot better on the actual video. It just doesn't look like it to me. So anyway, like I said, $50. I think it is well worth the money. I think it could easily be a $70 or $80 spotlight. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to having some fun on the job here, and stay tuned for more reviews. This is only my second one. I'm gonna do an EDC, and you know, I'm into bushcraft and survivalism and just all things guy, I guess. Besides, you know, guys themselves. I'm not into that. But anyway, if that's what you're into, that's you. So alright, I'm gonna have some fun, and until next time, I'll see you again.